ladies and gentlemen, from CRS, Creative Explorations, I have Vanessa Watkins. How you doing, Vanessa?
I'm doing good, David. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. We finally linked up. We
We
finally
did
linked
it.
up.
We did
You
it.
know, it's
We
not
did
that hard, right? It's not that hard. You gonna be on the show? Yeah, I'm gonna be on the show. When you gonna be on the show? Oh, well, David, I'm doing this. Oh, we gonna be on the show. Oh, I got this to do. Hey, and here it is. We are here. Thank you so
We
much.
are here.
Yes, we are
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
Oh, I am so happy. All right. So, hey, I want to talk, we're going to talk a little bit about what you do and what the organization is all about. Let's start by just telling them a little bit about the organization and what you are doing. And then we'll talk about relationships, which
Oh, sure.
I want to get into. So talk to me about the organization. Talk to the folks out there about what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So CRS Creative Explorations actually was a vision of mine since I can remember, probably back in 2004.
Wow.
I just believe in marriage. I just believe in the idea of marriage and
Okay.
how powerful two people becoming one and what they can do when they connect their purpose and passion. So I had the vision back then. Obviously, in 2021, this year, we launched the vision,
Right.
making it a reality. And it was birthed from that. And so CRS Creative Explorations is a couples retreat hub. That's that's all it is, plain and simple. But it's not your traditional couples retreat hub. So we sort of focus and are geared towards those individuals or couples that got together and maybe they have tried the non-traditional, I mean, the traditional marriage retreat or
Mhm.
couples counseling, and none of that worked for them.
Right.
They might be the couple that people are continually say, what in the world? And they're still together.
Oh, in a bad way, right? In a bad way, or like
And they're like, oh my God, that couple, they're still together. Maybe you have family reunions, you see this couple, and they're like, oh my God, and they're still together. So it's the couples that they just won't give up. The non-traditional counsel, I mean, the traditional counseling don't work for them, but they are determined. Look,
get
we are
together
together.
and stick it out and do it and get it
We're
done.
gonna make it.
Yeah.
My heart is there, and that's because that mimics so much of my marriage. And so that's my heart.
So you
My
know
journey.
what? Let's segue into that. So the David Lee Show. We pry. We pry.
Come
But
on,
let's talk
come
about
on.
your marriage. I mean, so I'm assuming that a good deal of what you're doing now was sort of birthed out of your marriage, perhaps. I don't know.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
So give us the dirt. Let's get the dirt and then let's get the good
Yes,
stuff. Let's
let's
get
get
the
into
bad
it, right?
stuff.
And thank God, I don't mind being transparent. I just like get in trouble on how far I go with my husband. He's like, you know what? Share your story.
I don't want to turn this into the Wendy Williams show. You know what I'm saying? But we want to hear, what it is. Okay, so this is what it is. Through our pain, and I know this, through my pain,
Yes.
right? That's how Fixing Father started. Through my pain,
Come on.
through
Come
what
on.
I've been through, you know what I mean? And hurtful
Yep.
stuff. Me being able to
Yep.
say I cried. All right,
Yep.
cool. I'm a dad. You know, that I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yep. We got to
ashamed.
put it out there.
So it's through our pain that we heal, we help, we get people
Yes.
to open up. So
Yes.
so
Yes.
with that said, give
So
me
with
some
that,
pain, give me some
here's the tea. Here's the tea. So the tea. So first, let me just say, I met and married my husband after 3 weeks. So
wow.
there was the jump start.
That's like a reality show on now where they
Oh,
get
it
married.
is. Oh, it is. If you ever hear us get together and tell our story, he usually says, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I usually say, hey, ladies, don't try this at home. Be careful. So, and here it is 17 years later.
Wow.
And so much that we've learned about marriage, but my journey. So I struggled with anxiety and depression. Um,
Okay.
Later in my marriage, to just the fruits of Suicidality was birthed too. And it really was a journey of me really getting to know myself. What were some of the deep rooted issues? And
Right.
that stuff shows up in your marriage and how you navigate those, meeting your real not the representative, when
Right.
you're dating,
Right.
and your real spouse. And how does that look in your marriage when you both show up together with maybe prior trauma, things that get triggered, and they come together, and it could be explosive. And so I think when you see those couples and it's like, oh my gosh, look at them, and they're still together, people
Right.
don't know. And with the couple themselves, there's this frustration because they know, like, we love each other,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to deal with this stuff that when it shows up and we're triggered. And so,
So was it, let's just go back to when you guys met. Was
sure.
this like, fireworks, love at first sight, that type of thing?
Yeah.
And then you
Oh
got to
gosh.
your true self, or was it, was it that exciting? Oh, 3 weeks. I don't care.
Well,
I
we
love you.
definitely had a lot of chemistry. I can tell you that, but we never met each other's representative. I can come on, 3 weeks married. So we have both been married before, and so when we
Okay.
met, we just shared, things. We knew exactly what we didn't want. Maybe we didn't know exactly what we wanted, but we know exactly what we didn't want
What
because
you don't want. I don't want this. I want
we were
that.
like, look, straight up. Look, I remember saying, look, I'm not domesticated. I'm nobody's housekeeper. I think we both cook, we both clean, we both work. That's what we
Right.
do. We had all these, things that we set up front. And we also shared a lot of our past and things that we came from and said, hey, this is
That's
what it is.
important. That's important.
Yes, it is very important. We were ready.
So,
We
so,
felt
so you, I would even go to say, just from hearing that, right? And
yeah.
me being married twice, I would even go to
Mm-hmm.
say that you guys learned a lot more in 3 weeks than folks learn about in these
We
long
did.
1 year, being with
We
somebody
did.
for a year, 2 years. You guys were talking.
Talking the whole 3 weeks. In fact, I think that's the most my husband probably talked to me in one setting for our whole marriage. But yes, we shared a lot, so much so that even when I was around my in-laws later or my husband's ex-wife, there were things that came up, and I was like, "Yeah, oh, you talking about so and so? Oh, you talking about this
You
person?"
already knew.
Yeah, we already knew. We knew, and we knew that we weren't virgins coming
Right,
to the
right.
table. So there was a lot of stuff that was. So we were very upfront, and very transparent about that, and we wanted our boo. We wanted someone that we can um, just have as a companion and do life with.
Right, right.
However, during the 17 years journey, we saw how deep that was. And so it has a lot to do with what we're going to get into in relationships. But in terms of CRS, that is important. So even the members of the team, if
Right.
people are not willing to share their story and be transparent and roll up their sleeves and get in the muck and mire with a couple, you're not on a CRS team. And if
Mm.
your story sounds like it's something that took place 10 years ago and you're coming to the table, like people hit the stage or hit a platform at the CRS team, it sounds a lot like, yeah, so last night, me and my mate used this tool to work this out because we know that relationships is a journey. That is not something that you put a period on. The pain
Right.
is not something you put a period on because triggers can happen. So we want to give our couples the tools and resources to navigate that and have fun with it because this is your life. This is your person. This is your journey with this person until death do you part. And so we want to give couples those tools and resources so they can have fun, enjoy each other, but yep, be prepared for when those triggers and stuff show up.
And that I think is what it's all about. Couples having fun, bringing that fun
Yep.
back into it.
Yep.
I always talk about this story how, and I think a lot of us men, we are victims, or we actually do this. I always have this story of how when I first met my wife, I used to buy her flowers all the time. And it was something that, I never could understand why women love flowers so much, but my wife loved flowers. And then as the relationship starts to go on, You're not buying the flowers,
Anymore.
you're not opening the door, you're not
You're like,
walking on the block.
she knows I love her.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
when I break away from that old rut and I happen to pick up some flowers, it's like it's the reaction that I get just reminds me of the love that we have. Not to say that we don't have love, but you get into
Yes,
that
I
rut.
know.
You get into that rut. So
Yes. Yes.
I'm always trying to get guys, when I'm talking to my dads, I'm trying to get dads to kind of be who they, how did you win her? How did you win her over? How did you do?
Yes.
So
Yes. Go back to the
do
root.
that.
Come
Do
on, go
that.
back. Yes. 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 So one of the things, speaking of the tea with my husband and I,
Yeah.
is the one thing that was continuous in these 16, 17 years that we've been together is we love adventure and we
Mhm.
love travel. And so, and we hate being out of each other's company, even when we're upset. So we could be upset with each other and be in the same room, in the same chair, and be like, we just have to be in the same room, even though, you know what, you're not my favorite person right now. Okay. But we
Yeah.
seek each other out. There were earlier times in our marriage where, you know what, we had a disagreement and would walk out the house, but then we'd call each other like 15 minutes later and go, where are you?
Wow.
Meet you there. And we don't want to talk about the issue, but we want to be around each other, even in our sleep. If you've been married, and you guys out there, if you've been married and you're in the bed and you're pissed off and you don't want to, but our feet will find each other in the middle of the night, just like, I just need, you know what, but don't talk. But you know what, I just need to touch you. And so we realize that these parts, our connection, the adventure and the travel and doing something different is what sustained us, even though we had these hard times. So when you talk about the flowers and all that, we might drop off on, like right now, any couples that follow us or that know us, you'll see I post on date nights, date night Fridays, and
Right.
get spicy, and then you'll see there's a lull, and that's not on my post. But in the meantime, in the backdrop, these are the things that are keeping us connected because we still do like adventure. We like doing stuff, silly stuff. Our kids known us for, we could be in a store and, we just go into roll. And I'd be at the counter and go, and we didn't have kids at the time, little kids. So it was
Mhm.
always pranks. And we'd be at the counter of the cash register and my husband would go into roll, like start nibbling on his thumb or something. And I'd go, oh honey, oh, you want to pay this time? You think you want to pay this time? Oh, wait, oh, and we'd get some beer and we'd have baby food and diapers, and then we'd be like, oh, wait, oh gosh, I don't have enough. Oh, you know what? When's the last time the baby ate? Did the baby eat last night? Okay, thank you. We're gonna get the beer. We're gonna get the beer. And just like, and our kids were used to us doing that and start sneaking out the store, but just having fun because guess what? You're together. You got together
Yeah.
for a reason, right? So just really,
So the
just have.
laughter. So would you say that that is what's missing from a lot of couples that you come in contact with? The everything is so rigid and serious. Everything's so.
It can be. I've seen that, but I think you attract that which you are, right? So we attract a lot of crazy couples. If we're hanging around with couples, they probably have a similarity like us. So we haven't seen that, but we have been in a lot of couples groups or different things, and we've seen that we do stand out in those couples groups for a lot of reasons. I think we have our own quirks that couples can't get with. I like to dig and go deep, and my husband likes to make jokes of everything. So that could kind of get annoying to some people because I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
into it. Let's talk about it. And I want to talk about those things nobody wants to talk about. Those are private. And my husband likes to make jokes. So you and him would get along fabulously.
Yeah.
But I think what keeps the spark in it is is yeah, not being married single, not turn into a married single. What does that look like, right, Dave?
Talk to
Well,
me.
it's when you're on a journey, the two of you, but you're doing nothing together. She's
Uh-huh.
off and her girlfriends and doing her thing, and she's doing really great things in the community, and everybody knows it. And he's off into his thing. And I think there is a good thing about when you do have some separate interests, But when that's continual and going on and that's, you're never together. Nobody ever sees the couple.
Where do we meet? Where do we
Yes.
meet, right? Do we, or
Yes.
do
Where do
we
we come
even
together?
meet? Or do we even meet? Or is it just,
Or do we even
I'm
like
doing
each
my
other?
thing, she's doing her thing, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and we're continuously doing things. And we once in a while bump into each other and, hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. What did you do? I'll do this. And then we go back out to the world.
Back out into our own worlds. We're like two ships in the night, and we become roommates. It's possible. You become roommates and you really don't know each other. So I think it's important to fight for those connections, to fight to stay together. One of the things I really, that's close to me that I like talking about is love, right? Because, we always throw that out there, right? But I think love is an action word. And if you are going to love in marriage, you're going to get hurt. Men try to avoid that. Women now are trying to avoid that. But if you are going to love in marriage, you're going to get hurt. And it's okay. It's okay. It's a part of us being vulnerable. And it's a part of us being, look into me and see that. And that hurts, but I trust you with that.
Well, what kind of hurt are we talking about here?
So we're talking about our feelings, like, maybe sharing. I can be very light. I can share, what? Hey, honey, I really like going to plays. And, it's my passion. You even met me going to plays. Matter of fact, when you were showing me that representative, you were acting like you really loved the plays. And then you see that was my thing. And now we're in the marriage and you don't even go to plays. And you don't know how to tell me like you never liked it. Right?
Right.
And maybe you're into motorcycles and you've always loved motorcycles, but you never did that in our dating time because you knew I was afraid of it.
This is new now. This is new information now.
Come on, it's coming out. And I'm going, and so the hurt could be like, so it ends up coming out.
Right.
It ends up coming out in the marriage and it doesn't sound like, so you never liked me because this is what I'm all about. I'm all about the plays. Right. And I'm all about motorcycles and you've never liked this. So what's happening? And that can hurt because now it's like you feel threatened. You feel like if someone else is not into plays or if someone else is into motorcycles, will I lose my mate to that? All of these things.
What else did you not tell me? Right?
Yes. What else is there? And you start seeing it over time. Oh, come on. And at the 5-year point in, that's not it. Maybe the 10-year point in, that's not it. You still kind of, lightly trying to please and not show all this other stuff. But you start getting up there near 15 and 20 years and 25 years and stuff. Yeah. You're like, okay. Oh, there you go. Oh,
who is this guy?
Who is that? What is that?
Motorcycle riding, leather jacket wearing dude.
Okay. And we call it women. We call it midlife crises. We on the phone. Jessica, I don't know. I don't even know. Oh, and in this pandemic, Dave. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we really met each other, right? We really.
Yes.
Our mates in this pandemic. We're like, oh my God. I didn't even know. I don't know that you didn't like that. I didn't know you.
Because you're forced. Well, this is where men are forced to talk. And I really do believe that women, I believe that it comes really easy. I don't know, you tell me. I think it comes really easy for women to talk about their feelings. Men, not so much.
I think generally that would be true, but I've met women, so I'm working on a book, Mr. Author yourself. I'm working on a book about that. That talks about sort of the relationships between women. But what I've seen is not all women like to talk.
Really?
Not all women like to talk. Yes, and it's interesting that the men that get with those type of women, those men are the talkers.
Those men are the ones voicing their opinion, letting them know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But it does get into that, and it could be challenging. But you said in Fixing Fathers, you encourage men to share their feelings, open up.
Yeah, just open up and don't be afraid. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? All of this stuff that's inside of you, I really believe needs to come out. It's just sitting there bottling up and it needs to come out. So I just think that you should find ways to let them know that you love to do motorcycles, that you love to ride motorcycles. Let them know the things that you love. It's not just about, I say it's not just about her. It's about you both trying to come together and share some of these things. You never know. She might like motorcycles. I don't know, maybe. But
So, but
holding
let's talk
it in.
about that.
Hmm?
Let's talk about that, Dave.
Yeah.
Why are men afraid, though, to open up? Why?
Because they don't. All right. So I think this is what I think, and it might sound, get some women pissed off or whatever, but they don't want this. That's what it sounds like to us. So it's best to just shut up.
That's the message. You know what? Why did I even say anything? Why did I even say? Right? That's what you. Why did I even say anything?
Right.
So what I've been learning in my years is, as women, we don't create a safe space because they got to hear about it again. Am I touching right?
Yeah.
About it again. Something you divulged in confidence and vulnerability, and later on, maybe a year from now, but we remembered it and said, "But you said you never even liked that."
Right.
And
it's coming back.
Come on, it's coming.
I really do believe that women have that piece where that stuff will sit there, and when it's needed, I know I don't have that. I know that I don't have that. But I do know that my wife has all of those things back in her head.
Yes.
And when it's needed, it's coming out.
Yes.
It's coming out at you. And that's
well, I do agree that God made us in a way that women can be, what is the thing, calculated. We can be cunning and crafty, but I believe that it's not necessarily intended in a negative way. I believe all of those characteristics do exist in women, and I do believe that we do have the capacity to hold a lot of information.
Right.
However, I don't think that in our good nature, in the way that God designed us, it was meant to be used in a negative way. I believe that, yes, women should be.
You don't think it's, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Come for me.
I got a little pushback. I know the men are going to push back on this one.
Yes,
you don't really think that it's I know my wife, and I know that if we're having a dispute, I have to go somewhere and think. But one-on-one, I'm not going up against her because there's all sorts of things. Oh yeah, well, what about January 3rd at 3:00? I know that's coming out. So I don't even bother.
Come on. But you gotta be with your mate according to knowledge. And here in my household, guess what? My husband is what I like to coin, because I have no better other word for it. You know those men that have the capacity to think like a woman? I call that an androgynous man. And why is because I'm not the one that can come like that in an argument. My husband is coming with the words.
Oh, he's coming with it.
Oh, he's coming with the words. And I'm like, you know what? You're doing that thing. You're doing I can't even. And you know how they say, well, the woman when she gets there, or the man when he gets there, because the woman is using so many words, and so he goes to want to hit, right? It's gotten there. Well, it's the reverse in our house. So I have to go, because I'm frustrated because he's using.
That's me right there.
See, so it can flip, and you have to know your mate. But the point is about that. You're right. Women would probably disagree with me as well as men, but I do know, and that's what to me, it's a heart matter. So to me, if your heart is right, that design, because I've thought about it for a long time. Michelle McKinney Clark has this book called the Art of Femininity, and it is about knowing. So when I feel like I'm calculated, or I am just watching and manipulating, it could be because guess what? I've watched my husband come home from work. I know he's tired. I know that this is his routine. He's going to come home. He's going to get undressed. He's going to go sit down in front of the TV. He's going to want to play the food. If I have an idea of, I've been watching him, and I know when we get out the house, he's fine. Maybe to get there, he might not like it. So I'm thinking, I'm calculating, I'm going, you know what? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the energy, the mood in the house already. I'm going to greet him at the door. I'm going to be like, baby, guess what? I have an idea. You know what? Or I start texting them at work and I go, guess what, baby? Oh my God, you like this steak, this juicy steak? I'm thinking Outback sells this because we know our mate. And before you know it, if he had the plan that evening to go and come home and sit down and plop in front of the TV, no longer, because he's all excited about this date that we're going to go and get his nice juicy steak. So yes, is that manipulation? Absolutely. Is
Right.
that a little cunning and crafty? Absolutely, but in a positive way because I am dwelling with my mate according to knowledge and I know what works to get them in a better mood.
So it's for the better good.
Come on. So it is a negative side. We can use it, but we
Yeah.
don't have to use it that way.
Now, do you find the couples that you deal with that was beautiful? Just to
Yeah.
let you know that was manipulation. that
At
was
its
art.
finest.
That was
At
actually
its
art.
finest.
Yes, that was at its finest. That was actually art. I'm hungry now. I want a steak. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
To get me out of my rut, right? And I don't know you're getting me out of my rut. I don't know you're getting me out of my routine. Maybe I should use that. My routine. But you're doing what you need to do to break things up, to make things
Yes.
to make things
Yes.
exciting.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and now all of a sudden, I didn't want a steak, but now all of a sudden I'm getting home. I want to sit and watch Netflix and chill. But now all of a sudden I'm excited about a steak, and I have no reason to be excited, but now I am. All because
Yes.
you
Yes.
were home thinking,
Yes.
you were home
Yes.
calculating,
Yes.
saying, this
Yes.
is what's going to
Yes.
happen in our relationship
Yes.
today. That's
Yes.
that's what couples need. Those are
Yes.
tools. Now that's different.
Yes. That's different. That's different.
You're
And
not
we
getting that from a minister.
come on, we're not getting that from, and we're not necessarily always getting that from counseling, sitting in the room, one on
Right.
one or with the couple sitting there. Because at that point, when you come to counseling, you're usually pissed off. So you're not, that counselor could tell you all these creative things to do, but you're not hearing it. I don't
Right.
hear it. I'm upset. He's not my favorite person right now. I don't want to hear it. And so you have to get couples to a point of like, okay, so what are we doing here? You got to boot camp straight up. What are we doing here? Why are we still together? Why are you holding on? Get to the root of that.
Now,
Get
let
to
me
the
ask you this. Let me ask you this. How different? Well, I guess if someone's coming to your camp, right? Your boot camp, if someone is coming to CRS, their mindset is already, are these couples already thinking on your level? Like you had said earlier, that not all couples are going to buy into the way you are and the way your husband.
Mm-hmm.
So are you getting like-minded folk that's just like, yo, I like, they see something online. Hey man, she might be a little out there, but damn it, I like that. So are you
So
getting
there,
like-minded individuals like that?
on the team, I think the couples are not even, they're not even ready. They're not even aware of what's waiting for them. They just are like
Something different?
something different, and we're willing to take a chance and get it. And it looks like when we perused on your site, it looks like you're offering something different. And they're saying, I'm willing to go. I want to go. I want to take you up on it. I want to challenge. Can you help us? And so I don't think that I don't think they even know what they're in for when they book.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. And that excitement is what we build on because we need adventure. We want it. We didn't get married to be bored with somebody for the rest of life. We didn't.
Right. Why live like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we bring that out? And so that's what we're interested in.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Absolutely.
That's good. So,
Yes.
so, so talk to me about what you want to accomplish. You get a couple, you get 5 couples, right? What,
Yeah.
what do you want them to leave with
Mm.
that they didn't
That is such a
have,
good.
when they started, when they first met you?
What we want them to leave with is hope. To reinstill hope and to leave with saying, I'm looking for the next adventure. Honey, how are we going to do this? Even if it's light. Let me tell you, adventure doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to book a trip and travel.
Right.
But just to even spark it, if we leave them with a spark, if they're downstairs in their house and the mate is upstairs and they haven't been connected in a while, and when they leave from our retreat and one mate just says, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to, let me try it. And they text and go, hey, sexy. Just because the other mate is upstairs. If we could spark that and it wasn't happening, then we planted the right seed.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Bingo.
Just take a chance again. Take a chance. You know, when my husband and I first got married, it was the craziest thing. And I'm going to put this out there and I'm going to give this to couples. I know women. So look, oh God, I'm breaking our secret. And guys, you're probably going to hold this to us, but if your mate, and I'm going to say this to men and females, if your mate can predict before they get home exactly what you are going to do, your marriage is in trouble. Keep it spicy. I said to my husband when we first got married, if you leave and we're upset, we had an argument, and you come back home and you can still predict that I'm still pissed about that, that's a problem. I don't want you to ever have me in the bag. I don't care, ladies, if you got to go and get a different wig every day and name them different women. I don't care if you got to go get a different outfit. You got to keep it spicy because somebody is sit down with your mate and be a different person. Somebody is willing to spark that fire. And this is not about trying to do this so you can keep your mate from cheating or exploring, because when people make up their mind to do that, they're going to do that regardless of what's happening in the marriage. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But why did you show up in the marriage? To me, this is my personality. I'm bringing it, and she is not dying. She is not going to stay dormant. I'm light. I'm love. I'm going to bring that in my marriage. And so guess what, brother? Regardless of who you decided to be, this girl has to show up differently every day because I want that. That's what I'm saying. And so if we could spark that in couples when they leave and go, who were you when you all met? And they say, well, I was this person. I did this. You know, that happens. I was into this. I dressed nice. So what do you need to do to make that happen? If we could spark that when they leave, that they're back being what they needed and who they needed to be when they first came into the marriage, then we're doing our job. That's exactly what we want to create.
Woo!
That's exactly.
You know, I'm sitting here smiling, but Jesus Christ, hey.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's powerful.
Yes. Yeah. And that's
sometimes you just gotta let folks, when you're on the show, you just gotta let folks talk. Just now, you were preaching a relationship sermon.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's
yes. I'm gonna tell you, my friends knew I had so many different crazy outfits in my closet, so many crazy. It's what? And that wasn't for him. That was for me.
Yeah.
For me, because that's who I am. And you got to remember who you were when your mate met you. Don't let that person die. That's what attracted them.
Right.
I don't know, somewhere along the way when we're married, we change up, we do adjust, and I think that is needed in some cases, that we do change up and adjust a little bit. Maybe if we were foul mouthed, because I know I love to curse, and
Right.
that shows up every now and then. You hit a button. That part is still, she needs Jesus. She needs Jesus.
Yeah.
But I love the F word, David. Oh my God. Boosh! You know how I feel when I'm dropping the F word. And my husband said to me, he said, whoa, I married a lady. Where is she?
Yeah, where's she at?
You know what I was mad? I go, well, she has left the building.
Oh, that is hilarious.
She was trying to.
I can't wait to meet your husband. I just can't wait to. I just can't wait to
Oh
meet him.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
We are going to talk.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
God definitely had to give me someone who could catch me, who wasn't offended easily, who we could have fun and laugh together, and who was just as clingy as I was in terms of just needing to reconnect. And I
Right.
love that about him. Um, there's so many other things. You know, my husband is from South Africa,
Okay.
and he's considered colored.
Right.
I am Black American. I don't say African American. I am Black American. And so, of course, we met a lot of cultural differences
Right.
that we had to navigate those tools or navigate those pathways. And it was challenging. We're a blended family. We
So
don't,
you just have you have answers for so many things,
so many, so
right?
not answers. I'm still exploring.
Solutions.
Yes. Some solutions, some solutions that we've tried that seem to
Experiences.
experiences. There you go.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I got through it. Right?
Got you. You know what I mean? Honey, if you got this, we got you. Come on.
Yeah.
And I still have a smile on my face. It's not
Yes.
miserable. Come on, I got you.
And you're still together.
Yes.
Together. That's
Well,
beautiful.
but let's talk about that, David. Is that the goal? The goal is not still being together. The goal is not to say we've been married 20 years. The goal is not to say we've been married 50 years. That's not the goal.
Tell me what the goal is.
The goal is the legacy. What is the story you're leaving behind?
Right.
Who are you leaving it behind for? And at our age, David, I'm going to say our age. I'm over 50.
Yeah.
When you get over 50, you start losing friends and family that hit home. There are more people you know.
Right.
You're there at the funeral, you're sitting there, and some funerals, it's just sad. No one has anything really good to say. You could tell that they paid the preacher to say something. Here, could you write?
Right.
Say
Yeah.
something. But other funerals, you see the people, the line is out the door, around the corner, and everybody seems like they're saying the same thing in a different way about this person.
Right.
Oh, they were so giving, they were so loving, they were so, oh, they were like this, and you and you're sitting there and you start to drift when you're our age and you start
Yeah.
thinking about your own life. What's my story going to be? What would they say? Am I selfish or selfless? What is that? The other thing is, God help if you have grandchildren. If you have children and you have grandchildren. My life began to change for me in a very calculated way, a very purposeful and a very intentional way when I got grandchildren and they got older. And I see my husband and I have disagreements.
Right.
I seen when my children got older, my daughter especially would see my husband and I have disagreements, arguments, if you will. And I was saying, what is the message they're walking away with?
Yeah.
Are they saying it's okay for a man to speak in a certain way to a woman? What is the message being carried away? And what is the legacy I want to leave behind? And I could tell you personally, and I won't stay here. This is going to be some tea, but because it affects my grandchildren's life. In 1 year, my grandchildren's grandparents, other grandparents, died all in 1 year, three of them, 3 months of each other.
Wow.
Got real for me because I
Right.
was the grandmother.
And now eyes on you.
Eyes on me.
Eyes on you. And they're going to remember. They're of course going to remember their grandparents, but right now it's eyes on you.
Me.
What are you doing?
My husband and I, what are we leaving behind? What's important? Are we making memories? What is the goal? What do they see about this relationship that's still here?
Right.
That right there, no matter how much we're hurt that night, no matter how much he hurt my feelings, I'm in my feelings, I want to speak to him. That stays in my mind.
Yeah. That's real.
Come on.
Yeah,
That's
that's real. That is real. And that goes to, and you know, this is something that you said earlier, and maybe our listeners didn't catch it, but I absolutely love it because it's something that my wife and I will do, even if we're having an argument or we're mad at each other. I will search for her feet. She'll search for mine, and we're still pissed. You still was wrong. She's not here now. It's like, you still was wrong, honey.
Yeah.
But the connection.
Come on.
The connection
We got to touch.
is still there. The love that says so. And these little things that, like you said, you're not going to get from minister. You're not going to get from traditional. You know, that love is that piece right there said so much to me because I've experienced it where I'm so angry, but the electricity through those toes, you know what I mean? It basically says so much to me. It says she loves me. She cares about me. All of that stuff. She's pissed off at me right now. I'm pissed off at her right now. But Jesus Christ, we bought a house together. I love her. I care about her. I want to do things. I want to do things right. I want to make her happy. All of that through just two toes touching. You know?
And Dave, I don't even want to get into the part of when I break down that at that moment, you're not Vanessa and Ewing. You're not these two adults that got married. That part is just a little kid in us. I need to touch you. And then and how we deal with that and walk that out, really reduce marriage. It's not all that technical. It's not all that hoopla. Reducing it that in those moments of disagreement, we are just two children that still need a connection, that still get their feelings hurt, and that still show in that moment how our social skills were developed.
Yeah.
Somewhere it just comes out and tells the telltale. I don't care how you show up in that board meeting or that meeting at work or around your peers. When you're in the house, your true social skills show up. Yeah. Whether you're willing to listen, whether you learned on the playground that, you know what, because if Annie want that toy, Annie going to get that toy, and I'm going to go grab it, and I'm going to go punch Annie because she took that toy from me. If that's how it
shows up.
Learned, that's what's going to show up in the marriage. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I see your real social skills, brother. Well, you know what? That's not going to work. And guess what? The female social skills show up too, because if we matching Bobby with that whole loud roar and going off, I had to learn in my marriage. Girl, you can yell all you want, but roaring at a man, guess what? He's a warrior. His warrior is going to stand up, and you ain't going to win. He's what?
Right or wrong?
Yes, honey. Right or wrong. He can't even hear you because you're roaring. Come on. He's like, what? He can't. If you're like, you don't understand what? You're roaring. Stop roaring. Stop roaring, women. It is not about who's winning. You want him to hear you? Stop roaring because it's bringing out a whole nother characteristic trait.
Yeah.
Come on. It's deep. It's deep.
It is so deep. And I totally get what you're saying as far as, you know, couples that come to you and they're not going to know what they're going to get because you've given them so much right now. Jesus Christ, this is a session. This is a session right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, we're at the spa right now. We're there right now. This is stuff that you're not going to get. You're not going to get it. And you are giving it to get those couples back to where they need to be and where they should be, where they're having fun, where they're enjoying life, where they're smiling, where they're laughing. And not an easy task.
No.
But somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. And we want to get our brothers back, man. We want the brothers to know, you know, this is the Fixing Fathers. This is the David Lee Show broadcast. So we want our brothers to know we hear you. I know that we're giving you a hard time and a challenge as females, but we hear you and we know that, you know what, you're full. You often haven't had a role model or somebody another father in the home to mimic that off of. That you've married your queen to come alongside you to hear your voice. And sometimes we get it twisted and we're listening to the wrong women. We don't even have the matriarchs in the church anymore that are giving us and saying, honey, hold your mouth.
Right.
We hear you and we know that we got to show up differently. And we want you to have fun again. We know that you don't come to our retreats and these workshops that your wives might drag you to sit with pen and paper and take notebooks and books home. We know that you want to have fun. And we've
Right.
learned that you're on that way. And so we got things ready for you, so that you're walking away from the retreat as men too, going, now that was my kind of retreat. That's what
Yeah,
I'm coming.
yeah. And that's
Yeah, you're right.
exactly, I think you kind of nailed it, because a retreat is not something, and you correct me if I'm wrong, a retreat is not something that I'm going to come home to my wife and say, hey, hon, yeah, let's go to this retreat. Let's do this retreat thing. It's more so you're going to hear the woman say, hey, honey, listen, I really want to go to this retreat thing. I really want you to come. And I'm just telling you that's what I would say.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, yes.
What is this? A retreat? What are we gonna do? And there's gonna have to be some buy-in. Tell me about it. Send me the paperwork. Let me look at it. There's gonna have to be some buy-in, and eventually, you get there. But when you get there, you're right. Men want to have fun. They want to enjoy themselves. They don't come here to be arguing and fighting. They want to learn something. They want to walk away saying, this was better. I loved it. I want to come back.
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
There's a lot of work,
Yes.
but I think you are so up to the task. I have learned so much. I'm going to pick my wife up some flowers this week. I'm not going to the florist. I'm going to go to Stop and Shop. I'm just going to let you know, all right? They got some nice flowers there, guys, okay?
Yes.
Jesus, they have nice flowers there. So along
with the text messaging.
Yes. And text messaging, yes. Honey, you look beautiful. And it's true.
Yes.
This is not stuff that, it's true. There's sometimes when I think these things, but don't actually.
We don't say it.
Yes.
We don't share it.
My wife, she, now everything is virtual. So, she has meetings that she would go to and she'd be dressed up and go out to. She has to get dressed up and she's in the house. So I might look at it and say, damn, she looks pretty.
Yeah.
In my head.
Yeah.
You got to let that go.
Let it go. Release it.
Yeah, let it go.
I'm going to tell you, it's crazy. The things, and the opposite sex gets turned on from different things. I'm telling you. Always share that. So, men, y'all the touchy-feely, all that turns you on. But for women, you know what? We can see our man. The other day, my husband was with our son, and he just stooped down at his level, and he was just talking to him, and I was going, I had to share, man, if you knew, this is right here an aphrodisiac for me.
We haven't a clue.
There's no clue.
You're using
the same love language on me, and that's not doing anything. I'm like, no, you got to talk to me. You ain't talked to me all week, and you what? Stop touching me. You know what I mean? But you doing stuff like that, we see your heart out. We see you do what you did baby. You just came home from work, and you seen that I was still busy, and you went and did those dishes. Oh my God. Brother.
Yes.
Those kind of things.
And we haven't a clue. So this is this is what and showing men that and showing men this, right? This is what they need to know. These are things that they need to know, because believe me, we have no clue. We might go on and shave and do all of this stuff and come down with powerful smelling cologne or whatever and think that that's it. That's not even it.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as me just talking to my son and saying, hey, listen, man, you need to, you are becoming a young man and you need to make sure that you wash. That might do it for you.
Okay.
Whatever it is. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. But it's real. It's real.
Yes.
It's real. So we're gonna get ready to close out. But I wanna ask you this question. What would you like to say to the couples out there that are on the fence, right? That are thinking, that saw your site, right? They say this is, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I want to do it. What would you say to win them over? Win them, to get them to
Such a
come?
good question. Ooh, this is such a good question. Oh, you put me on the spot, David.
No, take your time. Take your time. David Lee, we ain't going nowhere. It's a pandemic. We're not going anywhere. We are here. We are
What would I
inside.
say to win them over?
What would you say? What would you say to get them to actually attend? What are they going to learn? What are they going to, what are they going to walk away with? What's the end game?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. You've just come through a pandemic. You've seen a lot in each other that you really didn't like or surprised you.
Mm-hmm.
Realize that some parts of you were so disconnected and you don't know where to start to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Take
Mm-hmm.
this on us. I promise you, if you're open, you are going to leave with the starting tools to reconnect. You're going to leave with that. We're going to show you how. That's what I'm going to leave with them.
That's beautiful.
Be open. We're going to show you how.
Show you how to get back, get that connection.
If you're open, not box, not very specific, don't come to us like, I won't do this, I won't do this. Be open. We got you.
That's great. That's great. Because I would assume couples that come to you, if you are in love and you still love this person, you are willing to try it. You are just
You're
willing.
willing.
You're willing.
You're willing. And that would just be you're coming to us just for more fun because you're already doing stuff. But if you have found yourself stuck and you've seen more stuff came out in the pandemic during this time that you've been home with each other and you're like, you know what? You both are like, something has to change. We're that next booking that we're going to help you change it. Yeah. That's what I'm going to share with them, Dave.
All right, folks. Hey, listen. She said it, and I am sticking with it. I am so happy that you came on my show, and you're definitely going to come back, and we're going to talk about some other things, we're going to dive a little deeper into relationships, because this was good. I learned something, and I wasn't on here to learn anything because I know it all. I know everything. I don't. Hey, I don't need to learn anything from anybody. But seriously, I have learned something that I'm going to actually try and use. Hey.
That's right.
Like change my situation. You know what I'm saying?
That's
what it's all about.
That's right. That's right.
Just to recap,
Right.
I love the fact that there are husbands and wives that come home and like you said, they know exactly what is happening, what is going to happen in that household. A problem. That's a problem. I never looked at it that way.
Yes. Think about it. You know exactly. You could be off on the road if you can say, you know what? I know my husband is doing this and we left this morning with this argument and he's still pissed when I get home. Watch. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. We need to change that.
With that, David.
Need to spice it up.
Spice it up.
I get my wife to put on I'm going to go upstairs. You're going to get me in a fight. I say, honey, can you get a yellow wig and put on?
You can't dictate that. That's our fun. You can't dictate that. You don't do that, and you're gonna be in trouble. She's like, excuse me, who are you talking to today?
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say, Vanessa, you're gonna get a knock on your door. Can you put a yellow wig on and then tomorrow throw the green one on? Vanessa told me to ask you that.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll be in trouble. Let my husband come home and tell me something else to put on. I'll be like, and who was you talking to? Because I'm not her. I'm not trying to be her.
Exactly. But listen, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You on. I laughed, I cried, I laughed again.
Oh gosh.
And it's all good. Thank you so much. And I hope you do come back. And we are
going
to do
please.
Things in the future. And I can't wait.
Please. We want to have you too.
Yes.
We're looking forward to collaborating.
Yes. All right, y'all. So this was the David Lee Show, and we want to thank our guests so much. We have a care package that we are going to send her. It's the book by Dr. David Lee Asbury, My Wife, My Kids, My God. And we also have some masks that we're going to try to get over to you. And we have some sanitizing solution that we are going to
Awesome.
give. So we give. When we get, we give. And with
Thank you.
that said, please remember at Fixing Fathers, we live to laugh, we live to learn, and we live to love our children by any means necessary. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.